Pisces, and welcome to your July 2018 general tarot reading. It's funny, Pisces, you've got two water cards, but a lot of your month seems to be about desiring practical change, okay? I feel I've been getting this message for Pisces for such a long time here. Remember that Pisces energy is about balancing out the material with the spiritual, okay? You've got the emotional world pretty much sorted out, okay? A lot of your trick here is to balance out the different elements, the earth element with the water element. But there's almost a feeling of what you most desire is change in the material plane. And I think this might be quite a lucky month for you, Pisces, around that area. Because I clarified this Knight of Pentacles with the Chariot card, and they both come out together. The Sun card is an overwhelmingly positive omen of change, new growth, travel. The Sun card is, the Sun gives life to everything, which means it's the most positive card in the whole deck, okay? So we're going to leave this out. And what I realise is when the Knight of Pentacles, this Knight of Pentacles has been showing up for a long time. Sometimes he feels that everything's stalled, okay? And this will be particularly around your material life. But the Chariot turned up with it, which would mean to me that there's movement, okay? There's movement beginning to happen, because a lot of readers look at this Knight very differently. Some say he's not moving at all, and others say, well, he is, just slowly. With the Chariot, this Knight is now moving. And I've got a feeling you've waited a long time for that, Pisces, because what you most want is the Six of Discs. This can be around, again, it could be about going for an interview, but trying to get more balance, particularly in your work and finances, okay? It can be emotional too, because the Knight of Cups has appeared. So see, if you understand, this Knight, this horse is moving. This one is stationary, okay? So, to me, the Knight of Pentacles does move, just really, really slowly. But I think what is most Pisces most want is movement, not only in work and finances, but emotionally. And I think there's some Pisces watching who know exactly what I mean, okay? Maybe some situations felt really stalled emotionally as well as financially. But so the Six of Discs can be about going for an interview, reaching out for a job, trying to restore balance to a financial situation. I think it's happening this month because the Four of Wands is with it. Okay? That's particularly around work, but I think around finance, but around relationships too. There's a new chapter starting. You're about to cross a threshold. Your challenge is the Fool, so it might feel like the Fool is that carefree new beginning. It's still a challenge, so it might be the whole month is spent still trying to get the Six of Discs to balance out, because the Knight of Pentacles is a slow-moving energy, okay? It just is. So try not, the trick really, Pisces, to this energy is to trust that it's all happening, but it's happening in divine timing, because the Judgment card is here. This is about hearing a call, but it's also saying things happen when they're ready to happen and not 1 minute before, because you do enter July with the Magician card and the King of Pentacles. So I think quite a lot of you have been doing, this can be an earth sign person. I don't tend to read the cards that way, but it can be. But it's very much about our practical parts of our life, housing, finances, and getting a little bit more control over this area. Be a king. Again, very, very slow moving energy. And I think maybe that's why the Fool is your challenge card. There's almost some Pisces feeling that nothing's happening. It is happening, Pisces, honestly. It's with the Magician card, so maybe you've been working underneath the surface, doing a lot of intention, setting a lot of goals for changing your life, because you're really beginning to want a rebalancing, either of a relationship or of the practical matters of your life. In some of you, it's probably both, actually. But there's movement. I guarantee you there's movement. It might feel that you feel a bit burdened, that you're carrying stuff, so you feel quite tired. In your relationship house, you've got the Nine of Discs, one of my favourite cards. This is about taking time, looking after yourself, me time. One of the hardest things Pisces has to do is to put boundaries down, to say this is my time, but it's one of the lessons that you're here to learn, to balance Pisces with Virgo, to be of service, but also to look after your own well-being. That's what the Nine of Discs mean. Some of you might have to say no to people with this Eight of Cups, to say no to having your emotions constantly pulled on, so you can look after your own self and enjoy the fruits of your own garden, basically. Around work and money, you've got this gorgeous Page of Cups. He tends to represent new opportunities coming your way. This can be a relationship, Pisces, but it can also be about, is this new opportunities that are making you feel emotionally content, emotionally happy, and you've got the Ace of Wands. This is definitely new opportunities, new growth that's coming your way. It's exactly what I picked up with that Six of Discs. And again, there's a strange feeling, Pisces, that you've got financial and emotional opportunities. But the Aces birth new beginnings. And quite a lot of your trick about this month, Pisces, you might need to spend some time on your own to strengthen your resolve, to find your boundaries, where you start and where your boundaries are separate from other people, because there's definitely an emotional healing going on as a new chapter. There might be two people hearing the call to love, but there's also a financial side going on. Oh my, Pisces, you're my third reading, and two of the signs have had the most complex reading. At a soul level, you've got the Ten of Swords with the Wheel of Fortune, two tens. Never be afraid of the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords to me, okay, the 10 comes after the 9. The Nine of Swords is about anxiety. The Eight of Swords is about feeling trapped. The Ten of Swords is the end of that cycle. It's a decision to take an action which turns the wheel of karma, which turns the wheel of life. So the 10 to me is a decision card. It's a leap of faith. It's almost that feeling of, I'd rather take a risk than to stay stuck in this Nine of Swords energy and this feeling of restriction. That to me is a Ten of Swords, okay? The outcome is a reconciliation card. It's also about getting what you want and getting what you need. I mean, this is definitely emotions because the Queen of Cups has showed up with it, but so has the Ten of Discs. Complex reading, Pisces. I'm going to try and reorganise this because I think there's two very separate themes. One is financial and one is emotional, okay? First, the emotional theme. There's a healing going on here. That's what you most desire, and that's what's going to happen. It might be very, very slow moving, Pisces, okay? But it's where you're going to. To get the wheel to turn, you might need to take a leap of faith. Risk. Take a risk, Pisces, okay? There's definitely a financial theme here. Some of you might be going for an interview, okay? Trying to get that dream job or a job that you want to rebalance your financial life. The message is the same, by the way. Slow moving, but you're definitely going to the desired outcome. The Six of Cups with the Queen, and then the 10 of Discs. But a leap of faith is required from you, again, Pisces, to get that wheel to turn. It's sometimes you need to say no to get a yes from the universe. Maybe you're having to guard your time, guard your boundaries. Maybe some of you are walking away from something or walking towards this brand new beginning. And for some of you, it's definitely work and finances. You've got the Ace of Wands with the Page of Cups. New opportunities. The pages are always about new growth and new opportunities. And so are the Aces. I think you've got a really exciting month here. I think money and work, both of them, seem to be going forward. My one bit of issue might be with that Knight of Pentacles. It might at times feel like nothing's happening, because I think in a strange way that horse is both moving but at the same time not. And I know that sounds a little bit like a contradiction, but the Knight of Pentacles is away. He's just so slow moving. And that might be your challenge this month, Pisces. There might be times that you feel that nothing's happening. And that's why you don't feel the Fool's your challenge. You might feel a bit bogged down, but it is happening. But it's not happening in your timing. It's happening in divine timing. Because the Wheel of Fortune is exactly the same message. Because the wake up and the rebirth happens when it's time. And some of the problems we get ourselves into is when, and that's including me, Pisces, by the way, is we're not trusting the unfolding of the story. It's like we want to do the universe's job for it, rather than resting and finding peace and allowing the process to unfold as it surely will, Pisces, for you. Okay, really interesting month, very exciting, loads of new growth, loads of new potential, and I think some of you are reconnecting with a loved one or a whole new relationship starting, and a new job as well, new possibilities, an exciting one, because the Page of Wands is the Ace of Wands is a very exciting card, which makes you almost feel like a teenager again, quite giddy and full of joy. Great reading, Pisces. Very excited for you. Loads of love. Bye.